Cindy's Library. This is Cindy. Sorry I'm a wee bit late, but I had a goal of doing an entire archival book this 3-day weekend, and I managed it. So, yay me! Well, so what have I been reading or have finished since the last time I put a video up? Well, let's take a look. Um, So I read James and the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl. This is about a boy named James. He has a very happy life living with his parents, but sadly, when he is still quite young, his parents are killed by, by an escaped rhinoceros from the zoo, I believe. So he gets sent to live with his awful aunts, who treat him horribly. And the only beautiful thing in their house or yard is a scraggly tree. But one day, some little man appears and he gives James a bag with what look like glowing worms in it and gives instructions. But as James is on his way to fulfill the instructions, back into the house to the kitchen, I think he's supposed to drink it or something. Anyway, he trips and the contents of the bag fall around the tree. And at first James is quite dismayed, but then more magical things start happening, quite wondrous things. So this is very much a traditional Roald Dahl book. So if you enjoy that type of thing, this is definitely a good one to consider. Let's see, after that, oh yes, West from Home, the letters of Laura Ingalls Wilder. This was when she went to go visit her daughter in San Francisco in 1915. And also, let's see, it is the Panama Pacific International Exposition, which, judging by these letters, was quite the thing to go and see. So, even just writing letters, Lara knows how to write a letter, and she wants to tell Alonzo Wilder, or Manly as she calls him, all about her trip and what she's seeing and doing, which is exactly what this is. Some interesting glimpse into her life at that point. Let's see, I also read The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon, Volume 1 by Beth Brower. Yes, I started over again. And yes, this tells the story of Emma M. Lyon. She has just finished working for her great aunt Matilda, I believe, for 3 years, and is returning to Lapis Lazuli House in St. Crispin's Place in London, which is slightly magical, which she's going to inherit on her 21st birthday. That is currently the residence of her very obnoxious cousin Archibald. And we meet other people and learn about St. Crispin's and we start to learn about Emma's past, which, although she keeps a brave face on it, is actually quite tragic. But excellent start to an excellent series. Then I read Imagineer and Excantation by Honor Raconteur. This is a duology. And, oh, why can I not think of her name now? Anyway, it is about this young lady, 17, And things start pretty slowly to begin with. Reagan, that's right, Reagan. We have things from Reagan's perspective, and we also fairly quickly meet her Nana and her best friend, but it stays pretty much with them for the first 10 chapters or so, except that something really strange happens when Reagan gets a flat tire on the way back from visiting her Nana after dark in the woods. And the more she investigates things, the more strange things she finds, of a magical nature, I should add. And so Imagineer is Reagan discovering all of this in the magical world. And Excantation is a continuation of that. And yes, this is written, well, what then had been the modern day. So not my favorite because it starts out so slow and limited, but as Reagan's world expands, so does the story, and it is very fun that way. If you want something on a shorter side by Honor Raconteur, that might not be a bad choice for you, especially if you like modern with your fantasy. And then this is what I finished. This is what I read this weekend. Selecting and Appraising Archives and Manuscripts by Frank Boles. And not the most exciting reading, although he does try, but it's exactly what it says on the cover. This is all about how to select and appraise items for archives, both theory and practice. So, good to go over. Glad I'm done with this book. And I think that's everything I finished since we last chatted. As for what I am currently working on, well, to start with, this seems to be a year of Laura Ingalls Wilder, so I had to get this biography, probably suited for a middle grade. This is by William Anderson, Laura Ingalls Wilder, a biography. And so I have been rather enjoying it. If you're familiar with The Little House books at all, this first part should be fairly familiar, although there are some surprises. But I'm quickly getting past the point where the Little House stories end, and so I'm excited to get to that part. For Epistolary January, and in honor of the founding, I had to do the letters of John Adams to Abigail Adams. This starts in 1774. John Adams is riding circuit as a lawyer, as a justice. Not quite sure on that, but he's on circuit, not at home, which is why we have letters. And after this circuit round, he probably will stop at home, but then he is off to the First Continental Congress in Philadelphia. So exciting times. This ends about 1780, I believe. So this is an excellent selection of their lives to have letters from because so much was happening then. It's quite interesting to read what people on the ground were thinking. More Honor Raconteur. This is Tome's Apprentice. So, this is very much fantasy, and while I don't say that other mythologies and such are added to this. Don't remember well enough. This is pretty heavily Eastern. So, what are tomes? Well, you have basic elemental magic that can be done by regular magicians, but then you have, I forget what it's called. It's Chinese words, and apparently it is very complicated. So complicated that now only two people can do it, and they also live in this world with tons of magical disasters that have happened, potentially world-ending disasters, and even when they didn't, thousands, tens of thousands have sometimes died. So magic is used to control these disasters. And who is in charge of knowing the records and what to do, since most of them involve this complicated magic? Even though regular magic works fine 80% of the time, it's tomes. Well, we have Mei Li. She and her master get evacuated from the city where they're at. I think it's where they're based too. That would make a lot of sense because there is a volcano. No sense that anything magical or anything like that's involved with it, but hey, even with natural disasters, if it's bad enough, even magic can't help. So they're evacuated on different ships. Mei Li gets shipwrecked and stranded basically for 2 years until she encounters a young dragon who takes her to the master of all dragons, who agrees to help her because in the 2 years, well, things have started coming apart. All these disasters that the tomes have are supposed to prevent. And sadly, her master and the records with him have not been found or heard of. And of all the records they did save, well, that is all very well, but I forget the exact number, but if say 80 or 90 books were with her master, she's only studied and read 12 of them. And that's part also of what makes the tomes is their incredible recall. They had the ability to read something and memorize it and know it ever after. So, with all of these books missing, and of course, some of those books featured disasters that are going to be happening or are in fact happening now, well, this is a huge mess in the making. Fortunately, she has the help of Xun Li, the master of all dragons. But oh, how many times has Mei Li just wanted someone to shoot her now already? It's that kind of a book. Yep. Oh, I've also started David McCullough's John Adams. Yes, John Adams is rather a favorite just because his personality comes through so strongly. Oh, he was definitely not afraid to be himself. And what a contradiction of an individual he was. It's great. This is by David McCullough, of course, who is excellent as a writer, especially of biographies like this. So I am so enjoying it, but this will take me a while to get through, I think. Probably 650 pages in total, and I might not be at 50 yet. But that's okay. Finally starting to get some traction and some time for working on this Dombey and Sons by Charles Dickens. Oh, we have old well, older Mr. Dombey. He's rather. Miser's not quite the right word necessarily. He's extremely proud and haughty. His Did he care for his wife? I think he did have a drop of caring for his wife. Sadly, she died at the birth of their son, Paul, and left a 4-year-old daughter to Florence. So we have Paul's birth, and we've been getting some schooling now, but this is as much about his sister Florence and how Mr. Dombey ignores her, and it's also about um, Walter Gay. He is a poorer class and he works in a low position at Mr. Dombey's office, so that is how he comes in. But we've gotten a fair amount of his story so far, and I'm enjoying all of this so much. Charles Dickens truly was such a wonderful writer. So, that is what I have finished and what I am currently reading. I don't know what I will actually finish by next time. I'll probably finish the biography of Laura Ingalls Wilder, and I'll probably finish Tome's Apprentice by Honor Raconteur. But what else? Who knows? How has your reading been going so far this January? I'd love to hear all about it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I truly do appreciate it. So until next time, I hope you all stay safe and healthy. And as always, happy reading.